think about this thing we call emergency removal?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love emergency removal, and I think more people should know about it because, there is unfortunately artists out there that are not well trained enough and then giving these people bad work and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. So let's explain, like, you want to explain what it is?
So emergency removal, you literally just put on, our lift solution for 10 minutes, and it has to be within a 24 to 48 hour range of them getting their work done. So that way, the sooner the better. The sooner the better, because that way we can just lift it out.
Yeah.
And we literally just put it on there for a 10-minute soak and then send them on their way and hope that it comes out.
Yeah. And there's a few little tricks and protocol and things that we do to make sure that it really works. So for someone that has just gone and got their eyebrows done and they don't like the way it came out, right? There's hope. They can come to the Girls Inc. studio if they live in Vegas. If they don't live in Vegas, they can find someone that's trained in lift and knows how to do this technique and get to a lift technician as quick as possible within 48 hours. Within 24 hours is best.
Yes.
And we can do what we do in our procedure room, and most likely that brow will not heal in the skin. Most likely it will not heal in the skin.
Yeah, I've had one come in. I think she got them done that day. I don't know specifically how long it was, but she got them done that day. Came in, put it on there. Saw her 4 weeks later. There was nothing left. Maybe like little tiny remnants of just like little spots, but that pretty much nothing. You couldn't see anything unless you or me were looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've said, and it's a lot of people don't know about it yet because it's a fairly new technique. I happen to, I know.
Who invented it?
I invented it.
No, I know.
I would say I invented it. I would say, what's that saying? I don't want to screw it up. Necessity is the source of invention, something like that, right? Yeah. And so it's close enough.
Close enough.
And look, I've been doing removal for 15 years now, and it was never popular in the industry, right? Like no one really wanted to learn it. No technicians, emailed me, want to learn. It just wasn't a popular thing, but I loved it. I knew the value of saline removal. I taught you girls. But we were always taught for years and years and years, maybe 25, 30 years, it was protocol that if someone went and got a really bad eyebrow, there was nothing you could do. You had to leave that. It had to heal.
Yep.
It had to heal in the skin, and you could bring them in like 6 weeks later and then, tattoo the solution in there and start the removal process, which can take, 2, 3, 4, 6 sessions sometimes. And I had a client. Well, she wasn't my client. She was somebody who got really bad work here in town, and she was on the phone crying. It was actually the end of the day. And I don't know. I can't remember, Michon, if I had been thinking about this or not, or if it was just she called and it just clicked. Well, let me just try.
You're like, why not?
Yeah, I felt bad for her because I told her she had to wait for it to heal in, and she just was not okay with that answer. And she came in, and I did on her what's now called the emergency removal technique, and it worked. I mean, it just worked. And then I taught a couple of my colleagues. I think Kelly over in Canada was the first one I talked to about it. And it was shortly after my experience with my own client, and she did it, and she sent me the picture, and it was gone. I mean, gone. Like no bad eyebrow had ever been tattooed there, and that was the experience I had with my client. So I thought, I am on to something here.
We got to tell everybody.
Yeah, I got to tell everybody. But, I shared it with some close colleagues that were doing removal. We did it in here quite a few times. I wanted to make sure it was a technique worth sharing, worth teaching. And now it's blown up. Now, I mean, even even other training programs like Botched Ink, they teach it. You know, Lisa Henning. I love Lisa Henning. We're good colleagues, and we speak sometimes, and she's teaching it. So what an honor, right? That I think it's fantastic, and that's just quite a compliment that this discovery that I happened to stumble upon became so valuable that the industry has embraced it. And my only worry is that's going to be, you know, is that going to be my legacy?
I don't think so. I think you've got a little bit more than just emergency removal for your legacy.
But if it is, that's okay. You know, if that's what, you know, I'm remembered for is like emergency removal, that's okay. You know, it's totally okay. But no, it's just so awesome that now we have that tool and that ability for clients. It doesn't always remove it 100% like it was never there, but at least by we've been doing it enough now that we can kind of look at the results and the statistics, and I think it's about 70. I would say right about 70% of the emergency removals being done removes all of it or almost all of it.
Yep.
And then maybe you've got 20% that's removing half of it.
Yes.
And then maybe there's been a couple of cases here and there where not much removed. So
yeah, that's really rare, but most
that is
of
rare.
it-
Most times it's being removed. Yeah. So I think that's great. I love doing it
good.
too.
We get it right in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And it's such a simple technique.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's so simple.
not?
Like,
Come
why
in.
did no one else think of it?
you could come in between clients. It doesn't even take that long.
No, it doesn't. The client's here, what, about a half hour?
Not even.
Yeah. Not even, right?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, I know.
In and out.
Yeah, it's craziness. I love it. And migrated eyeliner, we can remove a migrated eyeliner now. So I had a doozy for my Lift online course. I had a doozy migration come in as a model. But that was another discovery of mine. For years and years and years, we thought, well, you were taught you cannot remove a migrated eyeliner. A migrated eyeliner, some people call it a blowout, you know, because the theory was if you went in and did removal on the migration part, you would spread it further.
Make it worse.
You would make it worse.
Well, I mean, you still can make it worse if you don't know your right depth,
You don't know your right depth. Yeah.
or if you're doing the wrong technique.
The wrong technique. And was the key.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm not going to go into detail about it because I don't want people watching this and going out and trying it without proper training, but it had everything to do with the technique.
It's all about the technique.
It's all about the technique. And we've been successfully removing migrated eyeliners for about 4 years now, and not one migration eyeliner has ever moved, gotten worse, or spread further. We're
Yeah,
pulling them out.
I've never had an issue with it.
No, me neither. So it's just amazing where removal has come in the last 4 years. I think it's really evolved. And
I think everybody should, take a removal class and learn how to remove things, just in case, especially when you're newer work. Not everybody's, beginner work is good. Sometimes you want to get rid of that stuff.
No, hey, look, we all have bad eyebrows, right? The struggle's real. I tell everybody all the time, the struggle's real when you first start out. Maybe some people don't like to talk about it or admit it, but some of my work for starting out 20 years ago, I mean, come on, man. It was like bad. You look at it now and you're like, oh my goodness.
You're like, I did that. I got to fix that.
Yeah, I did that. I know. It was like horrible. I remember one client, she come in my room. I was like doing it maybe a year. She come in my room and she was like this white haired lady, right? And I thought, oh, those healed so pretty. I was like so proud of myself. It was great.
I'm like, what color were they?
She wanted a little touch up, right? So I had a cleaner. So I lay her down. I get cotton, alcohol in the cotton. I take her brows off, and I was like, oh my God, she had makeup over them.
She was covering them.
She was covering them. But yes. And so when I took the makeup off, they were really dark and they looked like a sticker, and I was horrified. But I remember even asking her, without your makeup, they're really dark.
They're intense.
Maybe we should lighten these. And she's like, oh, no, honey, because if you go lighter when I put my foundation on, you won't be able to see them. So she was I think that was Michelle Zimmerman's Nana, wasn't it, Kat? I think it was my hairdresser's Nana at the time. And of course I have to go see my hairdresser. So
She's like, "What'd you do to my grandma?"
Yeah. But Michelle was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. My Nana never leaves her house with her foundation, and she doesn't take a Q-tip and remove the foundation. She covers her brows with foundation, so they're perfect." I said, "Michelle, she's gonna have to go to bed, everything. She's never gonna be able to take her foundation off those eyebrows because when she does,
Nobody has to see that in life.
yeah, exactly. They were really bad, but Nana liked them."
Hey, I remember doing my grandmother. She was one of my first people I ever tattooed, and they were dark. But you know what? She liked them that dark. She wanted them darker, and I was like, "There's no possible way we could go any darker."
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know what to do."
Some of the older ladies, sorry, I got a thing in my throat. Some of the older ladies, they like their brows dark.
Yeah.
Because they do. They put on their foundation, and they're not gonna get a Q-tip wet and remove it.
To each his own, man.
Yeah,
Just don't tell anybody.
No, don't tell anybody. That's hysterical.